All right, good morning, everybody, and on behalf of Ivy League Executive Director Robert Harris and her staff, welcome to the media and those in attendance to Ivy Madness. We appreciate your support and coverage of our student athletes, coaches, and programs. Our second team of the day is the fourth-seeded Cornell Big Red. The Big Red comes in tomorrow's game versus top-seeded Princeton with an overall mark of 15-10, finished the Ivy League regular season with a 7-7 record. Joining on the stage is head coach Brian Earl, Kobe Dixon, Dean Knoll, and Sarju Patel. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach Earl and then move into questions for the student athletes before finishing up with questions for Coach. Coach Earl, welcome to Ivy Madness. Congratulations, and please start with an opening statement when you're ready.
Thank you. We are excited to be here. I think it's an important year because of how the Ivy League didn't have a season a year ago. There was a lot of unknowns going forward, and I think it really is a great achievement of these players and the league to have a tournament and get us back to life as normal. And so 2 years of canceled Ivy tournaments, we're very excited to be here. We're going to give it our best shot. We play in a certain way, and hopefully we can execute that. And Princeton, we were lucky enough to split with them. And we're just hoping that we can take the last one here tomorrow.
And once again, for media in attendance, if you could please state your name and media affiliation before your first questions. And again, we're starting with questions for our student athletes.
Rob Brown, Ivy Hoops Online. This is for all the guys. In the preseason poll, you were all picked 7th. So can you explain how that made you feel and how that translates to you guys being here right now?
I would definitely say that put a chip on our shoulder. We definitely felt like we were better than the 7th place ranking. So I guess once the season started, all we could do is show everyone how the rankings were wrong.
Yeah, I think it definitely motivated us. Like Coach said, there's a lot of unknowns going into this year. So we all just try to put together.
Yeah, personally, I didn't really care. You kind of get it. We're young guys, a bunch of young guys, hadn't played in a long time, not much experience, but we knew what we had, and we knew that with the system we were playing with, the new system and everything, that things would come together and we'd be somewhere where we are now.
George Clark, Ivy Hoops Online. Brian, having watched your team play on a number of occasions this year, I'm just wondering, are you going to rotate 6 or 9 more guys in here for these people before this conference is over?
We're always open to new ideas, but we've been lucky to play a lot of guys, and the guys have really bought into it. And so even for this press conference, we weren't sure who we should have up here, and that's it's a testament to our players. Everybody, and I know I wanted to play every minute of every game, and it takes a lot to swallow your pride and be able to check out of a game when maybe you made 1 or 2, and our guys have done it, and so it's the same thing with this. These guys are happy to be up here, but I don't think they would have any problem with anyone else being up here, and it's especially after the years we had, it really is. We're in the business of being around exceptional people, and these are these student athletes, and they've proved it with how they've handled everything over the last couple years and the way we play. And so, again, just honored to be here and hoping to give our best shot.
Thank you. Jonathan Tannenwald from the Philadelphia Inquirer. Dean, what do you take from the 2 regular season games against Princeton that you can apply to what is now a neutral court, one shot, somebody's season ends game?
Yeah, I think they both came down on the wire. It's just execution when it comes down to it. So hopefully we can play them like we did the first 2 times, come out with a win.
Yeah, I would just add, they were entertaining games. The first one was less entertaining for us, but with the way basketball is being played, I think what Mitch has done, the amount of shooting and danger they have on the offensive end, and we're playing at a fast pace. So our hope is to keep it close, and that's what we did the last 2 times. We were able to build a lead in the first game, and I wouldn't mind having that for the entire game. But I think people are in for an exciting game if they want to, watch tomorrow. I hope.
Any other questions for our student athletes?
I guess on a simple level for Sarju, which is your favorite Earl to play for?
Get it right.
No, he's not.
This one. Can I answer?
What are the differences? Come on, like,
Okay.
be more flattering towards him. I had to deal with him for like 17 years.
I don't know. I think he's definitely quieter. I think his brother is very vocal, loud, yell at you a lot. But I don't know. He, you can see like he's a Ivy dude, very smart. I think I've grown a lot just from. He'll say something to me, and it'll take me 3 months to figure it out. And he won't be on me every single day versus where his brother would be on me every day. But the results get there eventually.
So you're saying that I'm smart and he's dumb. That I like that.
His words.
Yeah. He was on me every single day, but physically too, which you
He'll be like
you avoid
in
it.
your face,
Right,
clapping
right.
and all that, and
That's he wanted to
he'll
punch.
just be like, "Juice, what are you doing?"
Any other questions for our student athletes before I let them go? All right, we'll have 3 student athletes depart and get ready for practice, and then once they leave, you'll give Coach Earl a minute before you guys ask questions. Thanks, guys. Best of luck tomorrow. Questions for Coach?
Brian, to have a senior from Shawnee High on your roster who is as important to you as Dean is, what's that like for you?
Yeah, it's interesting. Dean was a great player, and obviously myself and my brother played at the same high school and had success there as well. And so he was very lightly recruited, and we sort of took him a little late in the recruiting process a few years ago. And it's been good, I don't ever miss an opportunity to take a dig at him from being from the same hometown as me. He's grown a lot, and coming into an Ivy League situation from public high school and like he and I did, you can be blown back a little bit by what that is and the academic rigors and the athletic rigors. And just like me, he was blown back a little bit by it. And so with him, I think the most impressive thing is how much he's grown over the last few years, not only basketball-wise, but sort of managing academically and becoming a pretty successful second-team All-Ivy kid. It's fun to see, and so you see a lot of parallels in being from our same hometown, the same high school, and having the successes we did in high school and college. So there's a little bit of self-interest for me in watching him grow that much.
You talked about the 2 Princeton games, but when you add in the game at Brown, you guys had built a nice cushion, and then in the second half things went the other direction. But fortunately, for 2 of those games, they ended up with wins. How do you control a young team in their first postseason experience to make sure that they stay settled in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, we're a work in progress still to this day. We knew that nothing was going to be easy with the way that the Ivy League is taking the top 4 teams and putting them in the tournament. There's so much competition in the middle of that season. So we won on a buzzer beater against Brown, and you knew they weren't going to lay down. And they came in and won on a dunk on my entire team at home. And so there's a heavy dose of competitiveness. And for this game tomorrow, it's not going to be any different. And we've been within a basket or ahead in almost every game this season. And so I don't know if you look at it from the grand scheme, you just say we've been in these moments a lot over the last 3-4 months. You know what it's about, and just win the next minute, win the next possession, do the right thing. And that's how you get through these things. And so they're young, and we have moments where we lose track of that, and we do play in a fashion where things can get away from us pretty quickly, but you just keep reminding them that win the next moment, I guess, is what you'll need to do tomorrow.
Will McCormack, Yale Daily News. Was there a point in the offseason or sometime last year when you realized the system you've used this year, which is unique and sort of hard to prepare for as an opponent, would suit your lineup and personnel well this year?
No, I mean, I was warning everybody at Cornell that we're going to play differently. And having played at Princeton in probably the slowest pace of college basketball history, and the way that I played and under Coach Kirill and Coach Carmody, this was a pretty big change. And during the COVID year, it gave me and my staff a chance to sort of figure out what we wanted to be and whether we were going to take that leap to what we have become. And so I to be very honest, we had no idea what it was going to be. And I told people, it's going to be entertaining, but when we lose, we might lose by 50. And so let's be prepared for that. And so, I think we're still trying to figure out tweaks to how we can be a little more solid in certain moments and not and change the pace and figure out different ways, which is the exciting part. But we didn't know anything until we actually got out and played somebody, which was, over a year with an entire class of starters that we lost. And so it was a little nerve-wracking, as you can probably imagine.
Brian, you've coached against Mitch many times by now over the years. Is this one, given the setting and everything else, any different?
No, I don't love coaching against him. I mean, we've been very close for 25 years now, and I don't schedule games against my brother or my close friends because you're in the background rooting for them to do well, and so I don't try to think too much about what this means. You always try to win when you're out there. We'll do our best, but after wins or losses against them and him, there's a little pang of regret, I guess, and and that's just the business we've chosen. But we try not to make too much of a big thing out of this. We'd love to win this game and advance, and there is the backdrop of one of your best friends on the other sideline, but it's the life we've chosen. So it comes with the territory, I guess I would say.
I guess a follow-up with Will's idea or yours about the style of play, is this, because of the success you've had this year, is this something you would consider, keeping in the future, or would you go back to the more traditional style you've had?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I think you do what suits the team that you have, and we'll lose the three guys that were on stage and Max Sandberg, another senior, and so things will be a little different, and we'll bring in a few more recruits, and so I don't know. There's never one way to do it, and we need to figure out what'll be best for that group and who's going to play and what we're missing, and so I've enjoyed coaching this way to an extent, but I'm also a little bit. It has gone against a lot of the ways I've learned and played at Princeton specifically. But the guys seem to buy into it, and I think they play hard, which is important at this level. And so the answer is I'm not sure. It won't look exactly like this, but we'll probably dissect it after the season. We won't have as long as we did during the COVID year, but that's what we'll do. We'll try to figure out how the new guys will plug into it, any changes we need to make. But I think you'll probably see somewhat similar to what we're doing this year, as long as the wheels don't fall off at some point.
We have time for one more question.
Thanks for taking the questions, Coach. I guess, could you reflect on the Coach of the Year award? Traditionally it goes to a team that's in first place, but this was a unique situation. So, could you reflect on the positive
award?
Yeah, I mean, I think I said to my team, that's an award. I think people would say program of the year. You know, it's given to the coach, but that is shared amongst our entire team. And there are guys who've made sacrifices, guys who want to play 35 minutes a game and are playing 22, and managers and staff who all plug their skill sets into what you're doing. And I think we're picked 7th or I'm not sure, and we outkicked our coverage, and they put the coach of the year on that. But it is a program thing, you know. One or two people not rowing in the same direction, and you're no longer program of the year. And so our guys know that. Our guys have sacrificed, and they're bought in from top to bottom. And so, you know, I'm very honored to get Coach of the Year. You get a lot of texts and, I guess, social media stuff that comes your way. But for me, it was a little bit of gratitude to, you know, I said it in a huddle, to guys who ran the scout correctly against Colgate. You know, that's something that pops up in my head, that's a part of how we got here. And they don't get the credit, but they should accept that getting Coach of the Year is as much about them as it is about us and the staff and myself.
Great. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you.